Welcome to part 2 of the New Order, The Last Days of Europe, mod for Hoi 4 lore. Go watch part 1 if you haven't already. So, at this point, the German economy is as dead as Leafy's YouTube channel, and the Axis is just gone. Japan, however, was able to escape the economic crash the rest of the world was going through, and is now free to spread their empire across the Pacific. Germany had to halt the, thing that will get this video demonetized, and take other desperate measures to try and recover their economy. All the while, Heinrich Himmler and his SS are just watching, and make the obvious conclusion that fascism just doesn't work. So instead he creates ultra-National Socialism, which is just more radical fascism, and begins preparations to take the Reichstag by force. Hitler and the rest of High Command are kind of freaking out about this, till Hitler gets an idea. Alright guys, what if we just give him some land in France and Belgium, so he can have his Burgundian state that he was blabbing about earlier, where he can do all his depraved shit. In exchange, he does not overthrow the government. Himmler accepts. While Burgundy was still a part of the Reich, the SS was split between a German and Burgundian branch. That part of the plan kinda backfires as all the people in charge of the German branch are in cahoots with Himmler, which basically put them back where they started. So, back in everyone's favorite dumpster fire called the Balkans, Romania makes a deal with Germany, where Iron Guard Romania would get a hall pass to take Transylvania from Hungary, and then in return they'd give up I don't speak Romanian. So after beating up Hungary, Romania is like, screw you Germany, and then goes back on their deal, and then invades a German puppet of Serbia. The Germans kinda have bigger problems on their hands, so they don't do anything to stop the Romanians. Things are looking pretty great for Romania, until a surprise coup from King Michael I. So eventually Germany realizes that they have a ton of people in their concentration camps, and maybe instead of killing them, they can just be made into slaves. So much for not getting demonetized. Yeah, so crux-ing your entire economy on rebellious slaves maybe isn't the best idea for economic stability, but it does end up recovering the German economy somewhat. Across the pond in America, the political landscape becomes ruled by both the National Progressive Party, a coalition of socialists, liberals, and even nationalists, and then the Democratic Republican Party. By the 60s, Richard Nixon gets elected to a populace demanding the return of land lost in the last war. The US also leads the Organization of Free Nations, an alliance of the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Greenland, and Iceland. The goal? To export freedom, trademark, to the rest of the world. Meanwhile, the Japanese begin to get worried about a possible World War III as America completes the tech for nukes and moves a shit ton of nukes to Hawaii. This starts the Hawaiian Missile Crisis. So back in Germany, with the economy mostly recovered, the military is in shambles, and the slaves are starting to get restless. To make matters worse, Himmler's been basically ignoring Berlin and doing his own thing over in Burgundy. But at least for the Germans, in 1962 they complete a moon landing, which brings some hope to the struggling nation. But then that hope is shattered after a failed assassination attempt which nearly kills Hitler. The resulting chaos shows the many cracks in the Reich beginning to form, and brings up the question of what will actually happen when Hitler actually kicks it. Thanks for watching. Please go check out r/TNO mod for more information about this upcoming Hoi 4 mod. Thanks to Patreon, Skylar Weston and Emerson Salmerio Rubio. Also check out my Twitter @LoganProds and link to the Discord in the description.